So joining me now, Black conservative activist Ty Green. Welcome to the show, Ty. I think a lot of people really want to know, as a Black conservative activist, is there anything that you disagree with out of this administration?
Do I believe that some things might have been a little overboard because people can't handle that? Yes. But at the same time, we also knew what kind of person he was from the first time he won. You know what I mean? He was going to do what he said, and he wasn't going to play games. He did the same thing when he ran. He had the first 4 years. You know what I mean? Now he's doing the same thing. So we can pretend that we didn't hear him and we didn't want to believe that he was going to do it, but he said he was going to do everything that he is doing. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of bothers me about the left. You know what I mean? They keep selling us stuff, and they're not doing anything. You know what I mean? And even though we may not like some things that he may went overboard with, he's still doing something. You know what I mean? Rather than just talking about the problem.
Okay, so what do you think he went overboard with, or do you think he went overboard with anything?
No, I don't. You can call me conservative. I used to be a Dem. I used to be on the left for a long time, up until this election. Even when I was gonna vote for him in 2016, I did it. I went and voted for Biden because I wanted to see what Biden was going to do. And then Biden showed me what he was going to do, which was nothing. And Kamala sat right behind him and she did the same. So I was like, okay, well, why would I vote for that again? When you tell me you're going to do all this stuff and you did nothing, everything went up again. You know what I mean? So what are we talking about? You know what I mean? And everybody want to blame this on Republicans. No, this is not, you can't. How is it that women on welfare are no better than they were 20 or 30 years ago? You know what I mean? Why is it that women think that they can not be mothers and parents anymore versus wanting to go to work every day? You know what I mean? Rather than letting them,
What the fuck,
rather,
bro? You just said, wait, you said why women think they can go to work every day? Is that what you just said?
yeah, why do they think they got to go to work? You know what I mean? They want to have kids. Because you can't do both. If you want to have kids, you can have kids and be a stay-at-home mom. Because my thing is, that's what happened to these kids. You know what I mean? Nobody was raising these kids. And that's why we got a fentanyl problem. And that's really the issue. We have a fentanyl problem because nobody was raising these kids. So instead of having them in stuff like when we were growing up after school, you was doing stuff. You know, you have friends to play with. You was in some club or you was in some program. You know what I mean? Drugs don't get over here from Mexico just by chance. It has to go through, it got to go through borders. It got to go through all this stuff to get here.
Well, drugs get here for the same reason that labor gets here, because Americans want it.
No, 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 no. If it's illegal, it shouldn't be coming through here.
Well, the labor is illegal.
And the drugs
I'm
are
not,
illegal too.
and I just want to make the distinction. The labor is illegal. The people are not.
What do you mean they're not?
Well, I said what I said.
If you come over to this border and you cross that border, you're in this country, you are illegal. You broke the law to get into the country.
Here's the thing. I don't
That's like if you go
believe.
to the store and steal something from the store and walk out, you're not
I'm
supposed
not.
to go to jail.
I'm not. No, I didn't say that. Okay. Okay. See.
Well,
So
send them back to this country. Send them back to this. It's insane.
I don't even necessarily have a problem with deportation, period. What I'm saying, though, is that we are not our actions. And so when you label a person illegal and that becomes their identity, then does an illegal person have illegal children? Are their grandchildren illegal? And so to call a person illegal, I think it's purposely done to dehumanize folks.
Yeah, but no, you're making excuses for it to justify this, and that's
What am
you
I
gotta go
justifying?
from-
What
you're
am I
justifying
justifying?
illegals coming over here having kids, and now they're not illegals no more. No, the kids are not because the kids were born here and the grandkids were born here, but the parents they are illegal.
But why is it so important to the why?
And
Why
I'm
is
not
it?
saying that you got to go get somebody that's been here for 30 years and have worked and paid taxes that we don't, and now have a social security number. No, I'm saying you go get those people and put them out of here. No, but you help those people get the papers they need to become the American citizen that they want to be, that they've been here. But if you came over here in the last, say, 10, 15, 20 years, especially when Obama started, and you came over here illegally and you did nothing but crime and traffic our women and still like kids off the street, no, you got to go. And that's what they've been doing. But nobody want to talk about that. Y'all want to
What
talk
I
about
am
the
saying
20%.
is that there is a difference between saying someone came into this country illegally, period, and saying someone is an illegal. And I'm trying to understand, why is it so important to you or people who share this viewpoint that distinction is not able to be made? Like, because
It's
it's
not.
why is that so important? Why is it so important to label a person as opposed to label the
Hold on.
activity that they did? Those people came here illegally is how you would describe the action
And-
of a group
Right.
of people.
Right. And
Those
hmm
people are illegals is not English because you're using a adjective as a
to describe
noun.
someone.
As a
Yeah.
noun. And so what I'm saying is that people are not defined by the things that they do naturally unless the aim of the people who are doing the labeling and controlling the language is to create a connotation. In this case, the connotation that these people are inherently illegal or illegal and some kind of core level, or engage with criminality at some kind of core level, to almost suggest that all of the things that they do
I
are
just wish there
illegal.
was some video and some deportation video or some deportation action when Obama deported 3 million people in
Right
2000,
now, the data shows right.
2004 to 2008.
One, he was deporting a great deal of them, as he was referred to frequently as the deporter in chief. But
In
what he
president
did
history.
not do is call them illegals and dehumanize
Of
them.
course he
And
didn't,
so,
but that's
what I'm saying,
why.
though, why what?
But that's you're making it like we're talking about. This is what these people are doing to our Americans when they come over here. They dehumanize our Americans. They steal our girls and throw them into trafficking. They bring drugs over here. So what are we talking about? Now, if you want to talk about the 15 or 20% out of the 100% of people that will be coming over here, the 15 to 20% that want to come over here and actually do the right thing, then yeah, that's cool. But the 80% that we're not talking about, tell that to Riley.
Yo, where does 80% come from? And right, like, where do you get 80% from?
What do you mean? If you
What do
come
you
over here
mean? What do I
legally, if
mean?
you come over that border legally, how are you supposed to live and work?
First of all, let's back up.
No
Saying
social
about
security,
80%
no,
of people, okay, 80% of people what?
that are leaving their country are criminals when they leave their country. I've been to Europe. I know. You go to Italy, you go to London. Italy was funny because there's only, when you're walking down the avenue in Venice, there's that one street. So like there's nowhere to really run if you're selling fake stuff on the street. So all these immigrants who are not there are selling bags on the street. And you got the police chasing them up and down the boulevard into alleys and stuff. And it's like, because they came here illegally and they get caught, they're gonna get deported back to their country, they go to jail.
Huh.
We just don't do nothing about it until it's too late. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But we always want to have conversation when it's too late, but nobody want to talk about it when it's actually happening.
I know a lot of people are going to ask me, why platform this man with these ideas that are dangerous and divisive and detrimental to our society. I think that as was greatly established during the first Trump administration, Kellyanne Conway called it a post-factual, a post-truth, a post-something or whatever. And however disappointing that may be for people at the time that thought truth was this thing that would be more important than all other things, that's not the case. And so many people's lives and deaths and futures are really up to the feelings of people and the beliefs of people. And so I think still that even makes it more important for people with differing beliefs to at least, sound them out loud.
About the conversation and the solution. You know what I mean? That's what I think we lose that. You know what I mean?
We are going to leave it there today. I definitely appreciate your time and your insight, and
The conversation.
yeah, and we definitely hope that you will be back.